Hello everybody, and we're back with another video, and this one's actually kind of impromptu. I've been getting a number of Ongekis in over the last year or so, or year and a half, and I just never did a video on it. So I figured, you know, since we've got one here and it's set up for the moment, we're gonna do a video. So here we are with Ongeki. It's got the red header here, and we've got our lovely assistant kind of just playing a couple rounds, and we're gonna, you know, we'll show off the game a little bit. But first I wanted to give a little overview of the cabinet, what I know about it. There's others that, you know, honestly have a lot more info than I do, but you know, just kind of go over what we've got. So we've got here these big ass pillars here on the sides. We've got some side buttons to smack, and
actually,
you know, the 3 buttons down here, the, you know, card readers, the monitor. Yeah, so in the middle, in between these, like these are pretty solidly locked in there. We've got a, you know, like a frosted gray plexi in the middle that operates as a like kind of a sound barrier, like to block out some light. And then you've got the stand for the monitor here. Very interesting game. It's a lot of fun. It's still quite expensive. I think like CHUNITHM is just still a better game, but this one's very unique, very interesting, very fun to play.
This one definitely gets a lot more fun once you start getting up into the higher level play of the game.
Like there's a lot of interesting stuff in this, and we'll go over the gameplay and stuff later. But first, I wanted to kind of look over some of the internals and other stuff like that. So if you want to like talk, you might actually know more about it than I do at this point.
I really don't know that much. I've just been playing it.
You've just been playing. You haven't messed with it, yeah. Like I don't get to mess with these cabs for very long because these they're so expensive and so few in between that they usually don't stay in the warehouse for much more than like a week or something. So, so it runs Sega Alls, and right now we've got the door open and whatnot. I don't think there's anything really special down here, but you want to grab a key, and let's open up the control panel and look inside there. And we'll go into test menu, and we'll kind of look at the some of the stuff in settings or go over anything that you might want to look over. So something that our assistant here has noticed is that some of these LEDs are going out. So let's pull off one of these.
They're a bit of an interesting. Those ones don't have the LEDs in them.
Yeah, they do.
That's just the pin.
Oh, okay.
So the LEDs are capped on the top like this, and they actually go into a 6-pin header. And that's actually because they're RGB instead of just a standard colored LED that you might find in like a pop-in or a CHUNITHM.
So those probably need to be replaced, and I'll probably go. I don't usually hook up cabs this much to test and look at them. But I should probably go get some of those LEDs just to have them on hand. But yeah, they're like RGB addressable.
Because it does use those colors to change what the button does during the game.
So anyway, that's neat to point out. Like these are just not cheap switches at all to replace. But that's pretty cool. And down here we've got this lever here. It goes back and forth, and we'll show what that does in game as well. No, you're good. There's like you can see, but there's just a potentiometer down here on the bottom, and that's turning that just. You know. Anyway, got monitor controls down here, and that's about it for the control panel. If you want to put it into like input test and monitor whatever else you think is interesting to look at in here. Input's the second one.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, it's just this is just the buttons and stuff. But go ahead and test and service this out. The fourth option is lever, and so yeah, you can just, if you want to.
Yeah.
So it's very simple. Like none of this is like really fancy technology or anything like that. It's just and it's like many arcade games. None of that stuff is too complicated. It's just how you use it that makes it interesting.
Yeah. Just converting all those analog values from say all the controls into.
So let's go ahead and put this down. Let's go into game, and we'll kind of check out the game here.
Try and set off to the side a little bit.
And actually, yeah, no, I'm gonna tear some of this out.
On the top.
Well, I can't really see too much from here, but this,
might
like
actually
the
be better
sides
from right
here.
here.
Well, the sides here like
They light
really
up,
like
yeah.
nook in the player really well, and
We made a note yesterday is that it was loud for the player, but as soon as you went off to the side, you really couldn't hear as much of the sound.
yeah,
from the
for
game.
sure. As soon as you come here, like it's not turned up very high,
Yeah.
but you can hear it very well. So, but yeah, no, it's very well tucked in, and I've mentioned before to others that. So this is one of the Taito stools. It just doesn't have the backrest that that they usually come with. We got these like heavily used. They're in pretty bad shape, but they are specifically extremely good for sitting for CHUNITHM. I don't care for it as much on for Ongeki, but I don't care much for it for CHUNITHM. It just doesn't quite feel as right for me. But yeah, definitely like this game was designed for you to go up to, sit down, and like go at it. So a couple things about game in general, like instead of having a regular credit system like you normally expect, it uses a GP system. And that's much more along the line of things like Fate Grand Order, Kankole, use that a GP system where you pay for a certain amount of GP and everything you do costs a certain amount of GP.
So like if I want extra credits or extra points, I can add another 80 to that.
Yep, and then see there now, instead of 40 GP to play the song, it costs 120. And then same thing, actually, let the timer run out.
Yeah, oh yeah, because you can add time.
Well, specifically, yeah, if the timer, Or I think, does it start counting down now, or is it?
It'll ask you if you want to, but I'll go ahead.
Yeah, so there, then see you can spend
Another
10 GP for another 60
time.
seconds, So it's really interesting in that, and like, as a result, you could be sitting at a cab for a long time and lose track of time while you're playing. But yeah, that's just a little difference that's isn't really prevalent in any other rhythm games, even though it's been in other genres for a while. So yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead, let's play a song, and we'll kind of show a little bit about the game itself. And yeah, like we had mentioned, some of these LEDs are out, which is why you need to see some of them.
Yeah, I moved them all to
that
this
one
side.
probably just needs to be cleaned, maybe.
Yeah.
But at any rate, this will need some replacements, and I'll work with the buyer on that. But okay, so you can see there he's using the lever to keep the character inside of the track, and then you've got the 3 different colored notes, and it does not matter which side you hit, and you can also like mash. Very much like CHUNITHM in that the game is very flexible. Like it's not really heavy pressure on accuracy or anything like that, and that in general actually really improves these games because you have a lot more freedom in what you can do. It's much more approachable, and naturally you do want to aim to be as accurate as you can, but that less emphasis is gives these games a lot of strength, in my opinion. So yep, you have to keep your character inside the track, otherwise anything you hit counts as a miss. So you've got those like swipes back and forth, so you want to swipe your character for that. And then any of the purple notes on the side are these side bumpers here. So yeah, then there's going to be mashes like that where you'll have to hit both sides. Otherwise, you have the freedom, as a left or right-handed player. And a lot of more difficult charts will require you to use both hands for the lever, back and forth and whatnot. All of the gold notes are bells to be picked up by your character. They don't affect your score, if I remember right.
You do get counted for them.
You do get counted? Oh, you do? Okay. Well, but there's a full combo and a full bell for your score that keeps track of, whether you've got all bells or not. Those, I think they cash in towards unlocks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that, and then the purple notes are mines that you need your character to avoid.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's that kind of sums up the gameplay. And so like each one you're battling against like a character there, and based on your character levels and skills is how much damage you'll deal to it.
Yeah.
So much again like CHUNITHM, there's I think there's less of a traditional song clear
Yes,
than other rhythm games. Yeah.
Over damage, or if you don't do it, you'll tie because it's like a battle. And with your characters, you're doing different types. Like you have an attack type character, a boost type character, and I think other in here I have like a guard type character, and that will all help you defeat the boss that you're trying to go for that song.
Yep. Okay, so that's the you know the core gameplay. Let's take a look at the card system and you know these slots here and everything, and talk about that stuff when this comes up. Go ahead and get out of this.
Yep.
No. Okay, so go ahead and pull up the like character profile stuff.
Oh, no, not that one. Oh, I need to go in. I'll just go back into this one here. And yeah.
So go ahead and just show some of the stuff about this.
Yeah, so this is what I'm not as familiar with, but
well,
this is
you're more familiar than I am, so.
So the different characters that you get while you're in game and while you're clearing like events and everything like you would with CHUNITHM, these are the characters that you would get. And they have like their different attacks like assist, attack, boost, to help while you're playing the game. So if I wanted to select that, and then I could put it in a different slot. So I'm going to just replace, say, my main character there. I can go through, pick a boost, put it over here, and kind of like that. And it's just like picking your characters that you want to use to play each song.
So, well then what's the point of these cards?
The cards basically make it easier for you to place your character in each slot. So, as you can see, that was the character I had selected through the in-game menu, but if I put in a card, you can see now it changes that character to what I've placed in the slot.
And how does it recognize which card that you use?
So in here, each corner has a QR code to register that character, and you can see on here it actually has my player name and everything.
So the QR code links to that specific character, and if you were to use that card on an account that does not have that unlocked, it would show up as a guest character. And actually, I should have thought to bring one of mine to show that, but it's whatever.
It's like I have another card in here.
Nah, it's all good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they essentially work as a quick load, and we've already done a video on Card Maker, so you can go back and look at the printing process, the gacha rolling thing and that. Like that's really the big money maker for Ongeki. But yeah, so this ends up being the use for it, and again, the cards are more for collecting and as a quick load like this. So like you would carry around a deck, maybe 9 cards or so, and you would change it out. So like each song, the character you're fighting, like you can see this one is blue. There is like it's like a rock paper scissors, isn't it?
Or even no, I think it's
there are
like
certain colors
almost like Pokemon, like this is like fire and water.
Well, yeah, and well, certain colors will do more damage against certain characters. So you want to keep a bigger deck if you really want to like optimize.
And the good thing is like if you have like certain characters that you like playing in a certain slot, you can load them up, and then it will load only the first one, but then you can swap it around. Yeah. And just keep it so they actually have space.
Yeah, just neat little efficiency things.
Yeah.
But that's pretty cool. Anyway, that's the gist of how that all works. But yeah, overall, like Ongeki is just a really neat game. They are slowly coming down right now, and but they're still not very available, and it's not something that's coming over very regularly. And as of this recording, there's actually none of them in public arcades in the US, or I think in the West. I don't know if there's any in... there might be... I don't remember if there's one up in Canada that's public, but...
I don't even think so.
But yeah, no, it's not something that you can really get around and play right now. So I wanted to show some of this, because not everybody's had a chance to go to Japan and play it, or, you know, not everyone's, you know, has one of these in their house, or has someone nearby that does. So yeah, anyway, we have a container coming in, and I wanted to like rush out and, you know, get a couple interesting videos in, just because there isn't too much of this kind of overview of these cabs. But yeah, I think that's all I've really got for Ongeki right now. I'll leave it at that. We're going to get ready to unload this container, and hopefully that'll probably be the next video, and we'll see you then. I hope you enjoyed this. We'll see you next time.